America that we call home. We will turn the pages of history in our quest to write our own. And on that journey, we will discover the passion of our founding fathers and the resolve of our independence. The year was 1776. The day was July 4th. It was a hot July day in the city we proudly stand in today, and our founding fathers had just adopted the Declaration of Independence. The radical thought of independence was spreading across the 13 colonies, and the signal for revolution had been issued. The Armed American Revolution lasted 8 years, in which over 25,000 Americans perished under the banner of revolution. Today, I stand before you on the same streets of freedom that our founding fathers have marked, and with the most pride and prejudice, I declare that today we make history under the same banner of revolution of which our past brothers and sisters have fought, and together we will put an end to the silenced majority. Our revolution is not an armed conflict. No. Quite the contrary. Our revolution is a peaceful yet powerful signal to our neighbors, to our leaders, and to the world that the American people will no longer sit back and watch the debt of our country soar well over $11 trillion without the transparency that the American people deserve when it comes to our tax dollars. When Congress decided to bail out the auto industry, the American people had no say. When Congress decided to bail out Wall Street, the American people had no input. It's time that the political leaders of our country extend the courtesy and, frankly, the right to the people so that we, the people, can decide where our tax dollars are going. When Congress decided to recover and reinvest in America with President Obama's economic stimulus package, the American people once again had no voice. The problem lies right within the title of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. The problem is the leaders of our country stopped investing in the American people years ago, and now all of a sudden they believe they can reinvest with the single largest expenditure in American history, towering at $787 billion. I stand here and I say no, absolutely not. Not on our watch, not on our dollar. When the leaders of our country stopped listening to what we had to say, back a page. When the president signed into legislation the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, he proved he wasn't willing to listen. And now, when the leaders of our country ask the people to submit to the undue burden of unconscionable spending, we are here to rise up and say no, absolutely not. Not on our dollar, not on our watch. To be naive enough to reinvest in the American people now, after ignoring our cries, and think that it will change the economic situation is simply idiotic. Let us once again go back in history and discover the path to a true recovery. We start with our founding fathers. They understood the meaning of a consistent investment in the patriots of America, the American dream, and the future of the American people. They realized that by encouraging the spirit of the American dream to soar high, that entrepreneurship would lead America to the head of the line. Currently, we continue to battle small business owners with overtaxation and laws that make the spirit of competitiveness unrealistic. We need to understand that America is the greatest country in the world, not because we have 50 states and 50 capitals, but because we had a spirit that led to hard work above all, a determination to succeed against all odds, and the support of a government who realized the beauty of the American people from all walks of life. The solution we seek from our founding fathers is this. Encourage the worker to work for himself and find success. Tax what is necessary, and the worker will give back to the American dream with ingenuity what they aren't forced to give back in taxes. Allow the the small business owner to accomplish their dreams without the shadow of big government, and I promise that America will once again recover. The American spirit of greatness is stronger than the shadow of big government. When in the history of our great country did our leaders stop listening to the people? The answer is simple. Our leaders stop listening when they realize that when our people are silent, that they can get away with greed and excessive power. The government has learned to silence the people with fear and determination. They have made us believe that $787 billion of taxpayers' money is the only way to American recovery. Once again,